Well, hello there everybody. Welcome to this kind of weird talking video. I've been seeing these videos about Lego is not what it used to be and all that stuff, and I wanted to give my 2 cents out there because the Lego brand that I grew up with, this stuff, Lego Chima and all that baloney, we don't got that no more. What we get now is this. I should have probably prepared better. What we get nowadays is these types of sets, collector sets that, do hold a dear memory in my heart, but it is the point of today's video. What is this a sustainable business model? And I'm going to tell you, no. What Lego is doing with all this 18 plus stuff is not a sustainable business model. See, the thing is, during the pandemic, Lego just so happened to release their new Adults Welcome line of Lego sets that include these 18 plus sets like Hogwarts Castle. Quite a lucky coincidence for them, I guess, but it showed them how many adults are still willing to buy, toys from their childhood. And that is the key, right? This is my childhood. I never stopped, well, not this particular set, but I never stopped playing with Lego. I still play with Lego. I'm 21 years old and I still occasionally play with my Lego sets. But the thing is, what Lego is doing now, they're banking on nostalgia for people who grew up with stuff like Harry Potter and Lego. And that's the business practice, right? They're marketing towards people who loved Lego as a kid, who loved Star Wars, which I also have. Up there is my, you can't see it, but on my closet is my Lego Millennium Falcon. Please buy that from me, I don't want it. What they're doing is they're banking on the nostalgia of, Gen Z and older millennial, younger millennial, older Gen Z, all that stuff, our and the previous generation. I'm gonna stop holding this now. And the thing is, right, that will be sustainable either until adults run out of money or until Lego runs out of kids or now adults to sell to. Because the problem with modern sets is, right, we get Dreams, we get City, we get all that stuff. But Lego's main audience is 18 plus. Again, it's sets like, I'm gonna pull it up again, Hogwarts Castle, and the Millennium Falcon, and UCS sets here and there, the Flowers, which I do have but not on hand, stuff like that. And eventually, those kids, or those adults, they're gonna, either die and not buy their toys anymore, and they're gonna, maybe have kids of their own. Some of them probably already have kids of their own, but their kids are not gonna want to play with display models. And we know that, for example, the new Clone Turbo Tank, I don't have it, I'm not interested in Star Wars to the slightest, but it's extremely fragile and, it's not meant for play. It's meant to be put on a shelf and collect dust, just like this thing here is meant to collect dust. And that is a problem because, if you're not making toys for kids that you want to buy your nostalgia bait toys, there's not going to be a business model in the future. And that is, I think, what Lego should be focusing on. They can hyper focus on all this, again, all this crap, all this 18 plus stuff that I don't even want anymore because I'm not into Lego for that reason. But they need to continue to make stuff like this. And you can say, well, there's Dreams and there's Lego Friends. They need more franchises. Rather, it's like themes like Hidden Side, right? That stay for a couple waves, 2 or 3 waves, and then just die. Just kill them off. Fuck it. But who gives a shit, right? But they will resonate with some kids. Some kids will remember Hidden Side in a few years and think, oh man, Lego was so cool back then. What do they have now? So then I got a bit off topic, but then, the kids that saw Hidden Side back in the day, they're going to look back at Lego, what they have now when they're 20, 30, and they're going to see sets like these, and they're going to think, wow, so cool. The point that I was trying to make was, if they're not going to repeat making nostalgic themes to lure kids in now, not with Star Wars, not with Harry Potter, but with real Lego IPs, like Chima, again, or Galaxy Squad, then there's not going to be as much of an appeal to to kids of today that will be old in a few years to buy this because they didn't grow up with a toy to capture themselves as much as old Lego lore did. I know why they do it. It's cheaper to just license out Harry Potter or to license out Star Wars. And I just think that, if you're going to hammer in on nostalgia for people who grew up with Lego, because adults have always had a place in the Lego space, right? They've always been there. AFOLs, however you want to pronounce it. They've always been there. There's no denying that. But those people come here for nostalgia of playing with Lego. But if Lego is not creating toys, they are still doing it, right? But they're not creating enough things that interest you know, kids. There's kids who like all kinds of stuff, right? Trains and stuff, they still exist, but you know, you have your Ninjago, but you don't have stuff for furries. I'm not a furry, just to get that out there. I am not, but you need to expand your market, Lego. Please make more one and done themes. Just 3 waves, 2 waves, kill them off, and there will be nostalgia. People back in the day probably thought there will never be nostalgia for power miners. Power miners. Or this. Nobody probably thought there will be nostalgia for Galaxy Squad. But you know what? I'm nostalgic for Galaxy Squad. And if Lego isn't pumping out these one and done themes, these 2 3-way themes anymore, then there's going to be nobody who's going to buy their adult stuff when the adults that buy that stuff now are either dead or just out of money, or they're done with collecting. They have everything they want. They have their UCS Falcons. They have their Jurassic Park gate set. If you want your business model to stay the same, you need to make more toys now so you can hark that nostalgia to your brand later for kids and people my age, millennials that are now collecting this stuff. That is what they need to do if they want Lego to be sustainable. You know, if they want to kill the company off in like 20, 30 years, that's fine. I couldn't care less. I probably will hopefully have a family by then. What are you laughing at? You know, that is what I wanted to say. I don't know. I'm not good at it. I don't script this stuff, you know. I have paper in front of me, but it's destroyed. So, yeah, there's no scripts. I just wanted to get that out there. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like, subscribe. It is daily December, where every December we drop 1 video. So, yeah, see ya. Bye. Primetime Pokemon signing off. I don't know how to do these outros, man. I'm so fucking retarded.
My fault.